Hello everyone, welcome back once again to the online biology classes. I am Sukanya Roy and today we are going to start with our second lecture on the chapter Human Health and Disease from the HS second year syllabus. In this class, we will discuss about a very important topic that is malaria. So I hope all of you have heard the name. It is a very commonly occurring infectious disease which is borne by female Anopheles mosquitoes and caused by a protozoan parasite which belongs to the genus Plasmodium. Okay, that is the causative organism for the infectious disease termed as malaria is Plasmodium. In case of the human beings, there are four different species of Plasmodium which causes different types of malaria. The most common one among the four is the Plasmodium vivax, while the most dangerous species of Plasmodium causing malaria is Plasmodium falciparum. As Plasmodium falciparum causing malaria is very much dangerous and it is potentially life threatening as it can lead to the failures of liver and kidney, and also it can cause a type of malaria termed as cerebral malaria affecting the brain of the human beings. That is why Plasmodium falciparum is termed as the most dangerous type of malaria and can even lead to the death of the different human beings. Okay, while the Plasmodium vivax and the Plasmodium ovale, these two species of Plasmodium can enter the bodies of the human beings and they can remain in the dormant stage within the liver for even several years, and they can get into their active stages whenever they want. Okay, so all in all, the Plasmodium is a very dangerous type of protozoan parasite and causes a very harmful type of infectious disease in case of human beings. Okay, and this parasite, that is Plasmodium, it potentially affects the liver and the red blood cells of our body. Okay, now the mode of transmission, that is the mode by which the malarial disease is transmitted from one human being to the other, is by the female Anopheles mosquitoes, which in turn act as the vectors or the carriers of the particular disease. Okay, now the common symptoms which are seen for this disease are high fever, which occurs on alternate days or which repeats itself every 3 to 4 days, along with shiverings or chills, headache, muscular pain, vomiting, etc. So you can see a picture is given showing a female Anopheles mosquito which is sucking the blood from a human being and in turn injecting the harmful parasite, that is Plasmodium, which in turn will cause the malaria. Okay, now the malarial parasite requires two organisms or two hosts to complete their life cycles. Okay, so the hosts of the malarial parasite can be divided into two broad types. The first one is definitive host and the second one is intermediate host. So the type of host in which the parasite actually attains its maturity and undergoes the sexual life cycle is termed as the definitive host or the sexual host. Clear? The definitive host is also termed as the primary host, as here the sexual life cycle is being conducted. Clear? While in case of the intermediate host, it is also termed as the secondary host or asexual host. Why? Because it is the type of host where the parasite undergoes the asexual type of reproduction. In case of the malarial parasite, that is Plasmodium, the definitive host is female Anopheles mosquito, while the intermediate host is the human beings. That is, within the body of the female Anopheles mosquitoes, the Plasmodium undergoes the sexual reproduction, that is the fusion of the gametes, while in case of the intermediate host, that is the human beings, the Plasmodium undergoes the asexual type of reproduction. Clear? Now let's move to the next important topic, that is the life cycle of the malarial parasite, that is Plasmodium. So at the very beginning, what happens? The cycle, life cycle starts with the step where the female Anopheles mosquito bites a healthy human being and injects the sporozoites with its bite. So what is sporozoite? It is nothing but the infective stage of the parasite, malarial parasite named as Plasmodium. That is, it is the stage which infects the human beings. Clear? While an Anopheles mosquito bites a human being, the, the sporozoite is the stage which is being injected inside the body of the human beings. Clear? The next step is the parasites, after the bite, they reach the liver through blood, and there they starts multiplying asexually. After that, after a few rounds of asexual reproduction within the liver cells or the hepatocytes, the parasites then attack the red blood cells, that is the RBCs, and reproduce asexually within them, and in turn they rupture and destroy the RBCs of the human beings, which release a toxic substance called hemozoin, and hemozoin in turn is responsible for the shivering or the chills and the high fever which is generally observed in case of the malaria, recurring every 3 to 4 days. Okay, so the type of fever in case of malaria is not same with that of the other types of diseases. Why? Because in case of malaria, there is very high fever which actually repeats itself after every 3 to 4 days. So this is a very common sign and symptom of the disease of malaria, and this high fever and the shiverings or the chills are due to a very toxic substance or a toxin termed as hemozoin, which is released by the rupturing of the RBCs, which is done by the parasites while they try to reproduce asexually within the red blood cells. Okay, so here is a picture where you can see that this is a normal RBC. Okay, that is a normal red blood cell of a human being, and these are the infected RBCs, where you can see that the malarial parasite keeps on multiplying themselves asexually within the red blood cells, and then they try to rupture the RBCs. Can you see this ruptured RBCs? They rupture the RBCs, and then the reproduced or the multiplied cells, they will come out, and in turn what will they do is they will release a toxin named as hemozoin, which in turn is responsible for the very high recurring fever which repeats itself every 3 to 4 days in case of the malaria. Clear? The next step is that Some of the parasites then differentiate into male and female gametocytes, okay, in the RBCs. And at this stage, when a healthy female Anopheles mosquito bites a human being, then this male and female gametocytes are taken up by that mosquito, okay, while the sucking of the blood. So what are gametocytes? These are nothing but the primary or the primordial gamete cells, okay, the gamete cells, which in turn gives rise to the male and female gametes, mature male and female gametes, once they are inside the body of the mosquito. Clear? The next step is the formation of the male and female gametes. As I have already said, from the male and female gametocytes, the formation of the mature male and female gametes takes place within the body of the female Anopheles mosquito once they take up the gametocytes during their blood meal, and then within the gut of the mosquito and the intestine, the fertilization takes place of the male and female gamete, forming the zygote. Okay, then what happens? The zygote develops, that is undergoes development and forms thousands of sporozoites. Okay, what are the sporozoites? This is nothing but the infective stage. And at this stage is actually injected inside the body of the healthy human beings to infect them with the malarial parasite. Clear? So the zygote develops and forms thousands and thousands of sporozoites, which in turn migrate into the salivary glands of the mosquito, and there they then they are collected there. And when this infected mosquito again bites a healthy human being, these sporozoites are injected into the blood, and once again the life cycle of the malarial parasite, that is plasmodium, gets started. Clear? And in this way the cycle actually continues. So this is the diagrammatic representation of the life cycle of plasmodium. So here you can see that from here the life cycle starts when the female Anopheles mosquito bites a healthy human being, and they inject the sporozoite stage with their bite. Then what happens? These sporozoites reach the liver, okay, of that particular human being in concern, and uh, like they reach the liver through blood, and they start reproducing asexually within the hepatocytes or the liver cells, and ultimately they burst out the liver cell, destroying those cells, and they are being then released into the blood. Okay, then these parasites reproduce asexually in the red blood cells, and ultimately once their several rounds of asexual reproduction is done in a particular red blood cell, they burst the RBCs and comes out, rupturing those RBCs or destroying them. Okay, and this causes cycles of fever and other symptoms. Why? Because while the RBCs are being ruptured, it releases a toxic substance termed as hemozoin, and it is then responsible for causing the cycles of fever and the chills or the shivering. Clear? Then the released parasites infect new RBCs, while some of them then undergoes the conversion into gametocytes, okay, and they develop into the gametocytes within the RBCs itself, and then they differentiate into female and male gametocytes. Now, these gametocytes are the precursors of the sexual stage of the plasmodium, and these are the infective stage of the malarial parasite for the female Anopheles mosquito, which takes up the male and female gametocytes of the plasmodium during its blood meal. That is, when a healthy female Anopheles mosquito bites an infected human being having the male and female gametocytes of the plasmodium in his or her blood, then what happens? Through the blood meal, the female Anopheles mosquito takes up the male and female gametocytes. Now, the gametocytes are nothing but the precursors of the sexual cells, that is the male and female gametes. Okay. Now, as the female mosquito takes up the gametocytes with its blood meal, then what happens? These gametocytes are converted into mature male and female gametes inside the body of the female Anopheles mosquito, and ultimately the fertilization of both the types of gametes, that is fertilization or fusion of the male and female gametes, takes place in the mosquito's gut or intestine, and it gives rise to zygote, that is the first cell of the next generation, which forms as a result of the sexual reproduction of the plasmodium inside the female Anopheles mosquito. Now what happens? This zygote gets converted, or it forms several thousands of sporozoites. Okay, and these sporozoites are the mature infective stages, which in turn infects a healthy human being when this infected mosquito again bites that particular human being. Okay. Now what happens? These sporozoites, after their formation, they escape the intestine and they migrate towards the salivary glands of the mosquito, from where they are easily injected or inoculated into the blood of the human being when this infected female mosquito bites that particular human individual. Okay, and with this, the life cycle of malarial parasite again starts in the body of the human being, and it continues like this. Okay, now you have already observed that for the completion of the entire life cycle of the plasmodium, it requires two hosts. The first one is the female Anopheles mosquito. Inside its body, the sexual reproduction is accomplished, and so it is termed as the definitive host or the primary host, while the plasmodium completes its asexual reproduction in case of the or in the body of the human host, and so the human beings are termed as the secondary host or intermediate host. Okay, so this is very important. This diagram is very important. Try to remember this, and I hope it's clear to all of you. At the very beginning, what happens? An infected female Anopheles mosquito bites a human being, a healthy human being, and with that, the infective stage of the parasite, that is plasmodium, the infective stages of the plasmodium, that is the sporozoite stage, is infected or inoculated into the blood of the human beings. Then what happens? These parasites in the sporozoite form, they reach the liver through the blood, and inside the liver they undergoes asexual reproduction. Okay, and multiplying their number. Ultimately, this sporozoites then gets converted into merozoites, and they comes out of the liver cells and they attack the red blood cells and keeps on multiplying and increasing their number within the RBCs, and they keep on rupturing new and new RBCs, and with this rupture of the RBCs, they release a toxic substance termed as hemozoin, and with that hemozoin, means like hemozoin is in turn responsible for the expression of the different signs and symptoms of malaria, including the recurring fever and chills. Okay, then within the RBCs, this this parasites then gets converted into a stage termed as the gametocyte, which are the precursor cells for the gametes, that is the male and female gametes, and this gametocyte stage is the infective stage for the female Anopheles mosquito, and when a healthy mosquito bites that particular infected human individual, these gametocytes are transferred into the body of the mosquito, and there these gametocytes get converted into male and female mature gametes, and they undergo fertilization and forms zygote in the intestine of the mosquito, and ultimately the zygote forms thousands and thousands of sporozoites. Okay, and this sporozoites then reach the salivary glands of the mosquito and waits there until and unless this mosquito bites another healthy human being, and with this sporozoites are inoculated into the blood of that particular human being, and then the again continues. Okay, so this is all about the life cycle of the malarial parasite. That's all for today's class. We will continue with this chapter in our next lecture. Thank you everyone for listening to my class.